Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm kicking off the speeches for tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kate. I'm the maid of honor and Lauren's favorite sister. Although I'm also her only sister, but I would like to think that I would be her favorite regardless. So I'm the maid of honor here. Growing up, I always looked up to Lauren. There are countless home videos of us making up performances and dancing. Jordan, you know about all of that kind of stuff. We used to make performances and force our parents to watch them constantly. But there's one video that comes to mind of me and Lauren dancing. I was probably like 4 and she was around 6. Lauren was wearing a little crown and her little dress, and I had a Barbie pajama set on. And we were dancing around to classical music. And then every time we would be together, we'd be smiling and dancing. But then when we stepped apart, I would always be looking up and looking at Lauren and seeing what she was doing. And I didn't think I'd cry, but I think I'm getting a little teary. But I would always look towards you and I always admired you. So I wanted to copy everything that you did. Except for when my dad walked through the door, and then I ran over yelling "Pop," and Lauren went and pouted in the corner. she cried in the corner, but the second I came back, we smiled and did a 180. We got back to it, so don't worry. Everything turned out okay.
Dad's always number one.
Yeah, Pop's always number one. But I always adored her, even though I didn't always show it growing up. As sisters do, we steal each other's clothes or have issues just kicking each other out when friends are over or whatnot. But it's just all that typical stuff. Although she did make my life really easy, luckily, with all the teachers who loved her, everyone she meets always loved her. She really paved the way and set a really easy path for me to follow, because anytime a teacher would see her name associated with me, they'd be like, "Oh, you're Lauren's sister, I love you already." It's you're already top of the class, it's fine. So you made it really great and easy to get along with everybody. But I remember when Lauren first told me about this guy that she was into. She said he was smart and charming and really excited to meet him. But although I don't know what happened to that guy, but Brett's all right too. No, but in all seriousness, she was very excited when she first started going out with you. I remember we went to Music in the Park in Campbell, and you had told me about him. And I was never really in the loop of anyone Lauren was interested in, throughout college and all of that. She never really kept me up to date. So it was exciting to learn that she was into somebody. So I learned about Bret, and I understand why she was excited about him. Because he's caring, patient as a teacher. I know that you have to deal with a lot of things that students do. Really smart, you're really driven, you're going to school and doing all these amazing things with your life. And I know that kind of characteristic is going to be carried over throughout your life. And I'm really excited to see what you guys do in the future. It's going to be really exciting to watch all of that happen. So, Bret, you're an amazing addition. I'm very excited to have you in the family. You get along with everyone. It's really exciting. But I'm going to wrap up this speech with some words of advice to you, Bret. I know you guys have been together for a very, very long time already, so I'm sure you know this. It's very clear. Although, if you have any issue with Lauren's being short with you, being mad, or anything like that, give her food. That's all. The Guevara women get hangry, and food will solve 99% of those problems. So you'll just need to give her some snacks, and she'll be fine. So, and with that, I just want to wish you guys a happy marriage, and I love you both, and I'm very excited, and congratulations. You're welcome. Thank you. All right, Jenny, I think you're next. Oh, sorry, raise a glass. Yeah, I don't have mine.
Tonight you get 2 Linville brothers in place of 1, so get comfortable. We'll try not to go on for too long. But yeah, let's do this. So Lauren and Bret.
Lauren.
Okay.
Lauren and Bret.
Bret and Lauren?
Lauren and Bret.
Lauren and Bret. As Lauren, this speech is kind of in the same vein as yours, Kate. So as Bret's 2 older brothers, we've been with Big B since day one. We have witnessed Bret grow from a little tyke with a constant desire to be with us to a full-blown adult who apparently they now call Mr. Linville, which is crazy. But as you may have noticed over these past 5 years, Bret has a variety of, shall we say, dispositions that must be dealt with. And we thought this would be a good opportunity just to give some advice, our Linville brothers' how-to guide in dealing with our youngest brother. So I'll pass it on to Eric.
Yeah. One of the things anyone really close to Bret knows is that he takes things a little seriously. Now, Bret, you started a tradition, and what would a tradition be without now, or what would a wedding speech be without props? So the delay would required some setup here. But we brought a few different pictures here, and one of them shows just how serious you're able to take things. So rec soccer? Yeah, this is rec soccer. Oh, no, wait, that was the wrong one. Rec soccer, starting there. Yeah. Despite the lack of superstar skill, you still gave it 100% on the pitch. And you can tell by that face, right? Yeah. And as kids, Bret, you were totally into whatever weird game I came up with or made you play with me. I mean, we used our stuffed animals to play Quidditch together that I made you do, right? Yeah. You were totally into it. Thank you for that. Nerding out, playing along with my Dungeons & Dragons schemes, 100%. Thank you. And playing the very questionable game we made called Roman Baseball, which nobody here knows Roman Baseball because we made this up together. And Roman Baseball is a bit special. It's a special type of baseball where you don't pitch from a safe distance away like normal baseball. Instead, you run up towards the batter, and then you do an underlob pitch, maybe like, I don't know, a couple feet from the batter. Which, and then we're playing with wiffle balls at this point, which is really key information because, like, you get extra points as if the batter you hit the pitcher with your hit. So, and Bret, you played Roman baseball harder than anyone else I know.
With the same face.
With the same face. Speaking of wiffle ball and playing hard, I mean, there was also an occasion where we both were taking it a little seriously, and we were both running into home base really, really high speed, and we both, I don't know who dove head first, who dove foot first, but in the end, your mouth hit my head, and in the end, it required a root canal. So little Bret got a root canal that day, but he left it all on the pitch. So way to go. Now, it's interesting to see how the seriousness engagement has transformed you through the years. I mean, you still take things very seriously, but it's changed. It's become a new thing. You've gone from being competitive in sports and with your brothers to actually being engaged in the world about you. And I really love that about you, that you take things seriously and you want to be engaged and you want to make a difference as a teacher in Teacher America, in Surge, in Pink Club, and raising money for cancer research. So that's really cool to see how that has grown through you. And it's still the same part of you. I love that about you. And as Lauren's husband, I can only imagine that you will take this marriage very seriously. And I'm sure you will give your heart, your body, your teeth, and your soul. It's a few
Scene change. Yeah. Yeah, I did say get comfortable. As Eric mentioned, Bret is a very determined character. Little gets in his way towards reaching his goals. After all, it was Bret who guilted our parents into getting the first house pet with his infamous line, "Mom, will I ever get a dog in my lifetime?" And lo and behold, guess what furry friend was running through the halls of our household 2 weeks later? This guy, Stuart. In elementary school, he was equally determined and ambitious to buy the newest tech of the time, an iPod Nano. Bret worked odd jobs around the house, helping Mom do anything that he could. Mowing the lawn, dusting, cleaning, 50 cents at a time. He worked his way up to his iPod Nano and got it before Christmas time. Very impressive. So yeah, he should get a round of applause for that. It's really a testament to Bret and his determination and his drive when he sets his sights on a goal. So, as older brothers, we advise you, Lauren, not to get in the way of those goals, because it could get messy. But there's good news. Bret's drive and determination can be, how would you say, Eric? Exploited? No, that doesn't sound right. Better yet, harnessed. Just as Bret, when he was working towards his iPod Nano, his drive could be harnessed to help us with our household chores. Look for opportunities for harnessing Bret's own determination for the mutual benefit of your relationship. And now it would be wrong for us to say that Bret is, all seriousness and no play. Bret has a fun side, and he loves to go on exploration. He loves adventures. Look at all those creative sports that he participated in with our brother Eric that they made up just in our backyard. He traveled across Ecuador, backpacked through the Sierras. Danced on tables in Poland, and even discovered Sweden's most beloved song, which is Toto by Africa, in case you were curious.
Africa by Toto.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I mean. But be wary, because Bret, with his cunning intellect, often convinces his loved ones to accompany him on some of these crazy adventures. Might I mention our march to the highest cathedral in the small town in Poland, or a death march to the top of Angel's Landing during his bachelor party. Remember, such statements such as "it's not that far, just a bit longer" are all relative in meaning, and Bret's definition of these terms is very, very flexible. While seeming quite daunting, Bret's need for adventure does not always have to be satisfied with unending hikes and trips abroad. As you saw with Eric, you can invent some arbitrary sports game for him to play. He'd be happy to play. If that doesn't work, feel free to send him our way for a bit. We can entertain him, if need be.
In fact, I have a couple suggestions. Sport games. The classic Olympic games of alpine cleaning, speed catering, and my favorite, taekwondo bread dough. So, in addition to getting Bret as a husband today, I think this speech makes it clear to you that, Lauren, you're also getting 2 additional weird brothers, in case one wasn't enough. Sorry. We want to welcome you. We want to welcome you warmly into our family. I truly hope that we can make you feel at home with us. Now, Lauren and Bret, happy first day of many wonderful, meaningful, interesting, and romantic days together as husband and wife. Now, Tyler can't speak on this point because, not to be competitive, but we beat you to the altar. But for me, really, marriage was really transformative in a positive way. Not the feeling of brotherly competitiveness, but for me, marriage with Camila has brought a deepening, and a long-term perspective, and a belonging as a family. And I really hope that you find marriage to be positively transformative in ways that you both have imagined, but also ways that are unanticipated.
And no, I can't speak on my own marriage experience, but I've had the pleasure to see your relationship grow, from very early on, and actually was there when Bret popped the question in the same park that we were just in, and it was an honor to be included in that and see that important part of your relationship, and just seeing Bret, how nervous he was, before when he was about to pop the question. You could just see on his face that he was freaking out. I don't know if you knew, but because I saw it coming, and just seeing that you know, yeah, maybe something like that. Just seeing that, you know, really made it clear to me how much he really did care for you because he wanted this moment to be perfect. And seeing someone that, here come the Linville, the Linville Waterworks, thanks, Dad. Seeing someone who cares as much about Bret as we do just makes us so happy. So congratulations. And welcome to our emotional family. So let's raise a glass to the bride and groom. Cheers to Bret and Lauren.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I've learned so much.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. We're so happy. Welcome. You can keep the pictures if you'd like.
Oh, I would like.
So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jenny, and as you can see by this beautiful pin, I have proudly held the title of Lauren's BFF for 15 years. I tried to find wet seal t-shirts that said I heart my BFF, but unfortunately they don't make them anymore. So this pin will have to suffice. Saying out loud that I've known Lauren for this many years also makes me feel very old. Also, I'm a chronic overachiever, so I set some personal goals for myself in this speech. I'm going to try my best to keep them, but no guarantees. Number one is to keep it short, and number two is to not cry ugly, so we'll see. So I told Lauren this recently, but I've actually written like many drafts of this speech and had it saved in my phone for many years for this occasion. But the cloud failed me and the speech was deleted, so I decided to write a new one. And every time I tried to write it, it really just never seemed right because there aren't enough words in the world to fully describe how much Lauren and Bret mean to me and how much I really, truly value their friendship. But here we go. Like any good story, I thought the beginning's probably a good place to start. So let's start with how Lauren and I ended up as a Team BFF, as you can see by this pin. So the funniest thing about our friendship, and that I tell everyone, is it really was a friendship of convenience. If you didn't know, Lauren and I are quite lazy. And one day we were on the swim team together and she invited a bunch of the swim girls to her house for a movie night. And this was pre-iPhone times. So I went up to my mom and I was like, hey mom, I'm going to my friend's house. Can you type her address into MapQuest? And she looked at me and said, there's no need for that because Lauren actually lived right across the expressway from me, which if you guys don't live in our area, it's basically like a block away. And so a friendship was formed because we could walk to each other's houses. We would make postcards. We made all kinds of crafts. The best was when we would deep fry food and then make Mark do the dishes. And it was really easy. We just had to give him a cookie. And we also loved to code our MySpace profiles. And we could do all of this fun stuff just by walking across a single crosswalk, which varied between 1 and 7 minutes, just depending on the light, but totally worth it. And this friendship that started as convenience really blossomed into a real friendship where we became known as Team BFF to everyone around us, and people just associated the two of us as one complete unit. And it's really cool that a friendship that really started because we were so close in distance was able to withstand all the distance when we went to college in different states and we studied abroad in different countries. We went from walking across the street to traveling across the state to be there for each other in some of our biggest moments. Like they say with love, distance makes the heart grow fonder, and that couldn't be more true of our friendship, and that's something I am always grateful for. Now to Bret. Lauren hates this, so I'm sorry to say it, but Bret and I have actually known each other much longer than Lauren and I have. We met in 5th grade, but I was the shy, awkward new kid, and so we never really got to know each other. But I'm really glad that has changed in adulthood. I remember the first time we re-met, how oddly comfortable it felt to re-meet you. And I think it's because we shared something really special in common, and that was that we loved Lauren. She always jokes that you're the boy version of me, so I'm very glad that she was able to find you. The first time... We are. We're both teachers. We're both like very competitive. We're both overachievers. Yeah. A lot of those pictures could have been my face, and it would have been very. Yeah. Just ask Lauren how I was at swim practice. Yeah. So the first time Bret and I really hung out, like outside of just meeting, was a weekend that they came to visit me in San Diego, and this is probably about a year into their relationship. And to this day, it's still one of the best weekends I've ever had, and I think about it a lot. And you probably wouldn't believe it if you saw me crying at the ceremony, but I'm actually not a very emotional person, and it takes a lot to get me to cry. But I remember vividly crying in the car on the way back from dropping you off at the airport, and just not really realizing it why until now. And it's because I had met the person that was going to marry my best friend. Oh, sorry. Since then, we have had many fun times, from our Bottle Rock sunscreen shenanigans to crying to Bruno Mars to pulling off many elaborate surprises for Lauren, including her surprise proposal when I somehow appeared magically out of thin air. But that first weekend is one that I always cherish, as it showed me how much you loved her and that I loved you for that. There aren't a lot of people that I would be willing to hand over this title to as Senior BFF. But if it's anyone, I'm glad it's you, and I give you that with pride and know that you'll carry it well. So to Lauren and Bret, I love you both more than words can describe, and I'm so honored to have been a part of so many milestones in your relationship. I wish you nothing but love and happiness, and cannot wait to see where life takes you. So no matter where we end up, and no matter the distance, I'll always be cheering for you, no matter how far it is. And I love you both. And to the new Team BFF, Lauren and Bret. Oh, I didn't stop. I did it. I met both goals. I did it. I have the Bret cheers face. All right. Oh, cheers to that. Sorry. Cheers to you. Thank you. I did met both goals, and I'm very proud of myself.
Okay. First, I'd like to begin by thanking everyone for being here on this glorious day and honoring Bret and Lauren. And a quick shout out to Lauren and everybody else who participated in making this beautiful arrangement for the wedding. The invitations were beautiful. I heard Anna speaking highly of it. But for those of you who do not know me, my name is Orlando. I'm one of the Bret's boys. I'm an honorary Bret boy. It is for life. If you do not know what Bret's boys is, we call this elite and noble group of men. Our sole purpose is to hype and support our leader, Bret. Bret's boys. When I was asked to be a Bret boy, I was just ecstatic. I was so excited. I made an unboxing video of me doing the groomsmen. It came in this cute little package with delicious cookies. I killed those immediately. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, so good. But I met Bret 7 years ago in Oakland during our TFA visit. We were young, broke, and enthusiastic rookie teachers. We shared a room during that visit, and little did we know we lived together for the next 4 years. I knew the moment I laid my eyes on him. I said to myself, one day I'm going to speak at your wedding. Lo and behold, here we are, right? Lesson here, folks, is chase your dreams, okay? In all seriousness, though, Bret is one of the most realistic human beings I've ever met. He's kind, he's compassionate. I didn't feel the cry. Oh, man. Compassionate, intelligent, brave, caring, funny, a great dancer, eco-friendly. The amount of times I've seen Bret his bike to work every day. Like, it's raining, he's on riding his bike. I'm like, on my way to work. I'm like driving past him. There's Bret on the bike. So, hard respect for the eco-friendliness. And I was lucky to have lived with you for as long as I did in San Jose. That's where our friendship blossomed. The late night lesson planning, the copious amounts of dancing, the heartfelt, deep conversations. One of my favorite things about living with Bret was the trumpet playing, though. It'd be a random Monday evening, and there he'd be in all his glory with Louis Armstrong or Roy Aldridge or whatever jazz was playing in the background. And then I would just look at him and be like, wow. The best part though, he'd be shirtless in his soccer shorts. And I'd just be amazed, like that's a confident man right there. And I told myself that when I grow up, I want to be just like him. Ultimately, it was our love for Anchorman that really anchored our friendship. The best thing about Bret is his heart, though, and I'm sure Lauren can attest to that. I had a tough time in San Jose, and he was there for me. It's rare to find such a kind soul like Bret, and grateful for our paths crossing. Things were going good with Bret and myself, until another kind, sweet person and creative individual showed up. Funny thing, though, is I met Lauren way before Bret. We attended the same community college, ASU. Number one in sustainability and innovation. And so we lived in the same dormitory in college, and Lauren was a wild one back in the day. She'd nap here, she'd nap there, she'd nap everywhere. Life has a wonderful way, though, of reconnecting you with certain people. And I'm glad Lauren was able to reconnect in this beautiful way with meeting you. To Bret and Lauren, thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up for the way you do for your friends and your family. Obviously, you can see that here and feel the love and feel the emotions. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this historical moment for Bretren, Laurette, I don't know what Hollywood couple name you're going for, but seeing you both full of joy, love, and sweetness is a beautiful reminder to the beauty of love and its power. Much love to you both. Salud. Oh man.